Oh, yeah. Welcome out. This is the Remix Morning Show. Right here on Black Liberation Media. In case you didn't know, I go by the name of the Ear Doctor here to bring you that boom bap preference right here, right now on this day of the 30th of September. Yes, do you remember? Let me help you. Let me introduce you to your host with the most. He goes by the name of Evan. They waiting for more people, Evan, but what's good?
I knew it was a matter of time before this happened.
You know. Well, welcome. This is how it goes down. Usually I would be doing the mix, but see, you're here professionally So, people, if there's no mix being played right now, blame it on Evan for being punctual. Blame it on Evan for being punctual.
I'm gonna start showing up when I see the live go on.
That's what everybody else does, but don't follow bad habits, man. Don't get into that. You know, how was your weekend?
It was good, man. It was good. We had a little action / march. Paca and BAP DC co-sponsored it. So we did that this weekend. We were out in the community with the people, talking to them about building community control. Had a little bit of, had a little tail from the pigs.
You got some tail? Do tell.
No. But we were just out, and specifically we had like the banner, but we were on the sidewalk. So we started a park and then walked through the neighborhood. And they picked up at least one unit as soon as they crossed the street, essentially. And she was just like, "Yeah, you're in my neighborhood," and just start following them. Literally driving like 2-3 miles an hour. They're on the sidewalk, not obstructing traffic. She was obstructing traffic. By the time we got to the midway point, we had 3 units, like just kind of meandering around in the parking lot that we were in. It was crazy, man. But it was, it was cool. The people we were interacting with were definitely receiving the message, definitely engaged. Cops did what they, we would expect them to do. We only had one troll, so.
I feel like you ever been pulled over by the cops?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I'm a black man.
I mean, I drive. So it's happened before.
Yeah, man, that's a hell of an experience. Do you still your heart beat still once you see those blue lights behind you?
Man, I don't even need to get pulled over. It's terrifying just to see them. You know what I mean? Like you're on edge just seeing them around. It's really wild.
Man. Yeah. I tell you what, when I first got all my license and stuff, my registration straight and all that, and I ain't had no problems, man. You could tell me shit when I was driving around. They get behind me, I'm like, psst. You know what I'm saying?
It must not be me. You start speeding up.
I mean, I ain't go front. I still be like, damn. You know, be like, damn. Even when you clean, that's the crazy part about it. Is even years after when your mind ain't like that and you driving clean and you like, damn, you still like, fuck.
Because it could always go south. I mean, that's the thing, man. It's like on a bad day or a good day for them. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? It could be a bad day for you.
Yeah.
And it's, incredibly frustrating. You have no idea what to do.
Yeah, I've gotten strip search for no reason. Back when I had my locks and stuff like that. They used to just
stop?
Yeah, it was a regular traffic. Well, they thought me and some people I ran with was selling drugs and stuff like that because we had a shop at a mall, and and they was just like, I know these niggas are selling drugs. Ain't no way they. So they pulled me over straight up, put the cuffs on me, put me in the back seat, went down in my pants and everything. It was. I was like, these motherfuckers right here, boy.
That is terrifying, man. When they put those handcuffs on you and they start taking you to the car and they're not explaining nothing, that shit is terrifying.
And all you be like, what did I do? What did I do? What did I
Yeah,
do? And you don't want, and see, a lot of us are ignorant to the fact of what to say. So they like, we gonna search your car and stuff. You like, well, shit, I ain't got nothing, so go ahead. But
yeah,
so
the answer is always no. For anyone who's curious, the answer is always no. Can I search? No.
Well, see, that's then when you feel like you giving them reason to look. When you be like, nah, you can't search. You know what I mean? But then you got to say it with a certain confidence. I feel, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, I think that's the way we're indoctrinated, right? It's like, oh, you would only hide something if you have something to hide, right? Like if you're guilty, right? So like, you should encourages you to kind of like divulge whatever to the cops. So like, check whatever you want. That is don't do that. That is propaganda. Don't do that. No lawyer is going to tell you to do that. No cop. Like if the cop are like talking to like their family, no cop is going to tell you to do that for another cop. Like, don't tell them nothing. Don't talk to them. It's like, yes, no. If they ask for ID, like give them that, right? But like if they always ask in a way of like, okay, I'm going to search your car now, right? So like, you're even trained to ask in a specific way to induce you to let them do whatever they're going to do. They're like, no, I don't consent. I can't stop you. You know what I'm saying? But just for the record, when this comes up later, I don't consent to none of this.
So what about that whole thing? I'll be seeing people put their license up to the window shield and stuff like that and don't roll their window all the way down. Is that real? People really do that shit? I mean, I comply when them motherfuckers pull me over. What? Shit, I don't want no problems. I ain't gonna front.
But that's the thing, you know what I'm saying? Like people don't, you see videos of people not rolling out the window. You see other videos of people not doing that and they bust your window. So it's like, you don't know what you're about to get.
You don't know what to do. Because at the Black Man's Lab, I was like, we're going to set it up where we can have these experiences with the younger kids, like when they get pulled over, what to do. But it's like, it depends on the cop.
Yeah.
It really does.
You give people like a set of things like do this, hands on the wheel, don't move until you tell them you're going to move. Like I'm going to go get this or I'm going to go get that, on my person or whatever. But it's just just guidelines, right? Like we're all, intergenerationally communicate these guidelines to each other. Like do this, do that. Like these increase your chances of survival. You know what I mean? Increase your chances of it going as well as it can go. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like we all live under the reality of like at any moment it could go left for nothing that you've done. You know what I'm saying? And it's terrifying. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that is where the fear comes from of like, shout out to Erica in the chat. We do need to do a Know Your Rights training.
And make sure when you read those chats, you read it out for people that's hearing impaired.
Thank you. Yeah. So from Ricky Ryan, BLM needs a Know Your Rights training. We do. Actually, in that vein, if anyone is in the DC DMV area, this Friday, some comrades from DPC and BAP DC are going to be co-hosting not a Know Your Rights, but a Know How to Protect Your Community training at Sankofa. So it'll be at Sankofa this Friday, I believe, from like 8 to 10. I'll get the flyer. But yeah, it's essentially a Know Your Rights plus, right? So what we're going to go over is not just your rights and what to assert when you have an interaction, but it's also what to do when they don't honor your rights, how to get somebody back, what to film, and then also like what is the historical context, right? Because I think a lot of Know Your Rights training fails at just kind of like doing the practical and that's it.
Yeah.
No acknowledgement of the reality that like cop is going to violate your rights most likely. So that's the first step. And then beyond that, right, you need to get to like, okay, well, what is the historical context? Like, why are we even in this situation with, immigration, so to speak, right now, right? And how do we connect the violence that we're experiencing here to the violence that's happening internationally, right? Because it's all happening because of the same system. So when we think about Know Your Rights Plus or Know How to Protect Your Community, something more expansive, that's what we're targeting. So if you're in the area, come through Sankofa. We're gonna have a good conversation, and we need to also do something here.
Well, who else could have a good conversation about community? Since we're leading up to talking about Assata being pulled over and all this talk, who knows something about that? Knows something about Assata and all that? Come out, K. Franklin.
Hey,
what up?
Hey. Oh, wait a minute! I didn't plug in my microphone.
There we go. So So yeah, as you plug in your microphone and get everything ready, we were just talking about uh having an understanding of what to do when getting pulled over by the police, and I'm pretty sure even you do that type of training most likely with your people. And yeah, how you doing, Kamal? Okay, you're
Nah,
still getting it together.
he's working on it. It's still
So
early.
so while we're getting there, Evan, tell us how Asada, was influenced in your research in your coming up when you're talking
Mhm.
about being more conscious.
Yeah, man. First off, rest in power to Asada and shout out to Cuba for keeping her safe.
No doubt.
Yeah, I mean, she was a humongous influence on me. I think the biggest thing in my life right now is that as a member of PACA, our biweekly popular education session is called the Assata Shakur Study Group. Like we
Mm,
specifically named it after her. The next one will most likely, honestly, be a tribute to her, where we kind of go and look at her philosophy and her writing more specifically. We named after because of her kind of standout example as a African revolutionary, right? And everything that she sacrificed for us and what she gave for us, right? And continue to never sell out, right? Like, even up until recently, kind of you're coming out with like very incredibly solid statements. So yeah, she was incredibly important. She's one of our guiding lights. And yeah, man, shout out to her for never being caught by the U.S. government. And
hmm
fuck Obama forever for doubling her bounty. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't get credit for all the fuck shit he did,
hmm
but that in particular.
Yeah, he
Um,
did double that shit.
yeah.
Yeah. So come out. You got microphone hooked up?
Yeah, I'm set. I'm good. I'm
Okay.
sorry about that, y'all.
No, you good. You good. So how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing one of those as well as can be expected. Her
Hmm
passing was not completely unexpected because some folks knew that she wasn't doing that well for a little while. But the timing is always um when you hear about those things, it's always something that kind of blows your mind.
Yeah.
And I met Assata Shakur for the first time, I believe, in 1996.
Mm.
I went to Cuba like 6 times over the next 6 or 7 years, I guess, and saw her most of those times that I went. And so I felt, at least during that period, I'd established a sort of camaraderie and a friendly relationship with her. We actually, like with other groups of people, hung out in nightclubs. I
Mm.
provided little security, wasn't much security, but little
All
security
right.
for her. She drove me around Cuba a little bit, told some hotels. I think I beat her at spades.
You think
I'm
that
just
right
saying.
there? You're reneging. You're a reneger.
So it was a cool, and it's one of those relationships, like, you hear about somebody and you meet them,
hmm
and they surpass what you all the great things that you feel about them in some ways, and they also are very human, right? And you feel like, wow, like there's something special about this person, but no more special than the rest of us if we dedicated our time, energy, read, studied, and really believed and followed our politics. And that's who she was. And I agree completely with Evan. This was a sister who never gave up her politics, never backed off of her politics, never backed off of her beliefs, never stopped being a revolutionary until the very end. And no one can ever sort of take that away from her. Others have tried to, in their own way, sort of malign her history by making it more liberal. Assata Shakur was not a liberal. Assata Shakur was a revolutionary. And it is something that we have lost in terms of our own practice. And she's been a symbol for Black liberation politics for a long time. And I wish her and her family a lot of light and space during this time, because it is hard.
hmm Yeah. Definitely. Man, so when you tell this story about you going to Cuba, it sounds like you were going over there to have a concert or something, because you went over there with a bunch of musicians. What was that about?
Yeah, so most of my trips, but not all of them, were associated with what we called a Black August hip hop concert, which was about having it in August, obviously uplifting the struggle of political prisoners and uplifting the idea of what the prison industrial complex was. And we sort of did a dual journey of doing a concert, most like in New York. And from there, part two of that was normally, but not exclusively, a trip to Cuba for folks to experience Cuba themselves as it is, both with its flaws and with its sort of great energy of revolution and socialist attempts at making socialism. I remember something that Assata said to herself that when she first got there, that she expected to see everybody walking around looking like Fidel Castro. I think I also had similar thoughts about everybody was going to be like this, like these soldiers, you know what I mean, for the revolution. And, it was people living their lives and trying to live decent lives and trying to make their way in the world, and people who love their country and love their people and love their communities. And for the most part, not exclusively, but for the most part, wanted to try something new, right? And we're down with the revolution. They had some issues with the revolution, but they understood and they traced a lot of the things that were happening to their country to the U.S. embargo and to the idea that the revolution and socialism was the attempt was to stomp it out by Western powers. So we let people experience Cuba in its richness and fullness. And that was something that was important for politicizing artists even more. People like Dead Prez, Black Star, Talib Kweli. I don't know if we got the Roots to come down, but
Erykah Badu?
Erykah Badu did not make it to the international trip because it happened. She performed for Black August in New York in August, and in September, 9/11 happened.
Wow.
So she did not get to go, but so many other folks rocked with us both in New York and or in Cuba, and that included Erykah Badu, the Roots, Common. We took to Cuba and have lots of pictures of him. Actually having a meeting with Assata, and the song that he wrote was inspired by his meeting.
That's what we started the show off with.
Yeah, that was inspired by the trip that we put together, bringing him down, those who knew him, bringing him down and having him perform and having a private audience with other folks with Assata. So that was really interesting. In fact, I found this real quick. I didn't mean, you're scanning and you're looking for like these old the old pictures and all that kind of stuff of like Cuban. I think everybody's been doing it now. Like some people for the first time, they felt like they did not want to sort of reveal that they on social media that they met with Assata and so forth. There's people like me who's like, I don't give a fuck, they can know, who had previously put up pictures. But this was interesting because I was looking at social media for the purposes of just checking out. I was looking at going over the internet, just checking out like what the mainstream media was saying. And so I found this, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but the CNN story about this intern who landed an interview with Assata. And I think this was in 96. And so the interesting part, in addition to, of course, the most interesting part was him talking about her. But then there's a little part where I'll show you. Let me get that sound up.
Yeah, let's do that.
One of my first jobs in journalism was when I was a college student, and I was actually the first intern in CNN's Havana bureau. And while I spent the summer of 1998 on the island, I had the somewhat crazy, probably not very smart idea that I would track down the FBI's most wanted fugitive in Cuba, whose name is Assata Shakur. Assata Shakur, by her own definition, was a revolutionary. She was someone who was first a Black Panther and then joined a more radical group called the Black Liberation Army. I describe her as revolutionary royalty because she was the godmother of rapper Tupac Shakur. She was his step aunt, and she was someone who had the highest profile imaginable. So she was very much on the FBI.
Uh-oh.
Do you see how that is in the corner? I was like, wait a minute. Oh, shit.
Look at the young buck right there, boy.
Yo, I would have missed that. I thought the thing froze. I was like, what's going on?
No, I missed it too. But when you see your face someplace, you're like,
Oh
wait a minute.
shit!
That's
Is that
wild.
who I
Look
think
at
it
you.
is?
Look at you getting taught.
Radar for years, and they accused her over those years of carrying out attacks, carrying out robberies, targeting police. And this all came to a head at one point in New Jersey when she was pulled over, and they.
So we could play. I know we're going to talk more about her legacy, but that was just amusing to me. It was like I was scanning.
That's
I was like, oh shit.
You're on the list. It's like, who is that in that corner right there?
Like, wait a minute.
1 second of fame.
Yeah, so for all our remixes, that's what we're going to be doing this week. We're going to be doing tributes to Assata, all different types of ways, through stories, through her writings and all types of stuff. So it's going to be a dope week. So make sure y'all stick in for that. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Oh, I ran into a Get this weekend, man.
At the Dead Prez thing, or where at?
No, at the art show. They had an art fair here. I'm cultured. So
was
yeah.
this the thing for Palestine or something different?
No, this was like a big annual second annual art festival fair and everything. And then they also had the National Black Arts Festival this weekend. So it was so much stuff going. Atlanta never runs out of stuff to do. It is ridiculous. That's why traffic is so bad.
That is probably why traffic is so bad.
Yeah, but it was dope. Good weekend.
Did you buy any art?
Oh no. I looked at it. It was, these prices of this art is like $17,000 and this, that, and yeah, there was some dope art in there. I must give it up. I understand, like, some prices, but
you didn't find anything closer to your range. I mean, you're a famous DJ. I don't know why you kind of like just...
I make my own art. I'm actually going. What the fuck is y'all laughing at?
No, sorry. It sounded like you like the paint, like like you did the painting behind you. I make my own art. Do you talk about your DJ skills, your music?
No.
You do?
Yeah, I do art, man. I'm a Renaissance man. Come on, man.
Are you going to display any of it?
I'll show y'all a little bit.
You studied on that, B. What do you mean? I show y'all a little bit. This is
your
opportunity.
Yeah. We gotta have a showcase. I want to see it.
We can do a Black Liberation thing featuring Ear Doctor's art, like a whole art studio buyout and all that kind of shit.
Maybe we could do a little donate. Yeah, we can figure something out. I mean, no, I'm talking about they might want to buy my art. Maybe we can highest bidder.
So you're gonna donate the art and then they buy it and then the money goes to the channel, right?
Yeah.
No way. I'm not that communal. Boy, some things you can change about me, but I put the work in. I want my food. I share. I give y'all a little something. Yeah, I'll give y'all a percentage. Yeah, channel percentage.
2%, 3%, 25%,
5.
Thank you, sir. You're generous.
5%. Wow, y'all want more for just being here?
I mean, if you're going to sell it for $17K, then we'll take 5%.
All right, a manager's fee, 10.
A manager, true.
Right.
True.
Come on, man.
I just wanted to let y'all know as an aside, there's a strange Georgia power truck outside my door. So if my power goes out or I go missing, or like I'm gonna have to look and see if they put a camera up next. I was like, the power's on. Why are they parked outside my house for so long, kind of thing.
You should go out there and break and knock and be like, are y'all lost? Y'all looking for an address?
During the break. Don't think
I'm y'all looking for
somewhere?
Like, y'all need help?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if Atlanta power grid goes down again and it's just me, it's about to be a weird show today. I'm telling you right now.
You got it. All you got to do is talk about BAP.
So last week? So no one was on the air for a few minutes because Ear Doctor's thing went out. I wasn't available, and you guys were doing a chat show, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I literally logged on to like watch the show, and I didn't see anything that was way past the time. And then I was like, yo, what's going on? And I looked in the chat, and chat was live. Chat was going, and then jumped in the chat, saw Clow in there, and then she started like performing an interview. So we just talked about the most recent writing that Pocket put out, talking about the occupation, going over our analysis of that. But it was I'm not gonna lie, we held down the chat for quite a while. Shout out to the chat, man. The chat, I don't know, I can't think of any place else where the chat is so dedicated. They're gonna have the show without y'all.
I see.
We're a distraction for the chat. We're just a way for them to jump off and have a conversation.
Right. Really, we're in the way of the information. Like we're just a little bit.
We're the commercial.
Yeah.
We're the commercial break. Wow. Well, we had Kim here. I don't know what happened to her. She
probably walking up.
Yeah.
So do we still have the Discord? Anybody? Any of y'all in the chat use that Discord? I was going to jump back in there. My daughter told me she accidentally jumped in.
What is a Discord?
It's just a place for folks to talk, right? Like it's just a place to have common like community. Evan, you might have a better explanation than that, but that's what I thought it was.
I mean, yeah, it's just a messaging platform. I think you can. Yeah, I mean,
like a chat room.
Almost like a chat room, right? Wouldn't that be a good way to describe it? It's a place where people chat.
So you leave this chat room to go to another chat room. Okay.
I feel like it's more analogous to like Signal. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't say like in your text messages, "I'm going to a chat room. My chat room with Kamal." One of my chat rooms. You wouldn't say that, right?
So it's like a Zoom breakout room or something like that. That's basically what it is.
I like it though. Yeah, he has to talk down to us like we're kids. Just to try to explain it. He's like, God, these old people. He's like, let me try to break this down so they understand.
I feel like where I need to start. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is y'all's understanding?
So what's this button?
I don't hear nothing. What's wrong with it?
Chat room.
Room.
I got back on the basketball court yesterday. I'm getting back, boy. I'm getting back.
Oh, from your injury.
Yeah. I'm feeling. I was hoping ain't nobody come and try to play me, so I was just out there by myself doing my exercises, getting my sweat. I'm getting back. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get tight. I need to get the 6-pack by my birthday. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Huh?
When is this deadline by your birthday?
November 18th.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what. All I gotta do. I started this once a weekend fasting, every month.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I get there. That ain't nothing.
Okay, me too. Then. Me too. By October 17th.
November 18th.
Have me at least a 3-pack.
Okay. Now I don't know. From what I've heard of your eating habits, I don't know if you're gonna make it.
What's those little 4-packs that they be selling?
Contrary to popular belief, you have to eat your way to the 6-pack also. And
really?
Not just the exercise. Damn. You gotta actually.
Speaking about 6-packs, 2-packs, let's bring up Kim.
I can't do some sit-ups.
It's not. I wish, Kim.
Hey, good morning.
Nice for you to join us there, Kim.
I could always leave.
No, you cannot leave.
It wouldn't be the same.
No.
And don't listen to Ear Doctor. We're happy to have you.
I just had to be snarky a little bit.
Snarky.
We missed you last week, Kim.
You did? Why? I was here Tuesday. Oh,
was I here Tuesday?
Nobody was here Tuesday, was it?
What was that?
It wasn't Tuesday.
It was Wednesday. We was here.
Yeah.
Was I here Tuesday?
Yes, you were.
Oh, good. Okay, at least once a week. Okay.
Was he? I thought he was at the airport.
No, that was the day. It was just me and you. It was kid and play. It was kid and play that day.
Come out. We've been doing this for 4 years. Why can't we just get a text that you're not going to be here? For real. I mean, really.
No, you are completely right. No, you're right.
And we hear the same shit every time after we confront him about it.
And then I always say, you're right. I apologize profusely. And then I say, it's never going to happen again. And the next time I'm like, oh, shit, I'm not going to make it. No, but this time, hold me to it. Like, I don't know what the penalty. It's not like I get any money anymore.
No,
I'm saying, but whatever other penalty you want, I could do the whole 50 push-ups on air. Kim, me and Ear Doc have a challenge. We're gonna both try to get a 6-pack by in a month. Me for 2 weeks. Evan laughed at me and said, but
I feel like you're gonna get yours through malnutrition, though. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think it's gonna be through flat out fitness and athleticism.
Ramen noodles again.
It's not a healthy six pack. It's gonna be a very sad six pack.
A Budweiser six pack.
Oh my God.
I mean, y'all, the men of Black Liberation Media have been promising us a shirtless pictorial for years now, and y'all niggas refuse to deliver. Like, we can't properly objectify you with your clothes on. I keep trying to
at least wear a tank top sometimes. You know what I mean?
see. Y'all better be glad y'all incorporated Evan into this rotation. Evan might save the whole calendar. You know what I'm saying?
Evan look like he kind of diesel.
Evan got a little muscle on him. He got a little muscle on him. Yeah,
It's under fat. I'm out of shape, man. I'm out of shape.
See, when 30-year-olds say they're out of shape, don't believe them.
God,
I know.
Now, okay,
And
I'll
I'm
be real.
talking like 6'2", 6'3".
I'm 6'3". Why I keep doing the 6'2"?
And I'm just asking the question. That's all. I was just asking the question.
You hear the jealousy, Evan?
You're 6'2". I look like Wes Moore. Y'all won't leave me alone,
Oh
man.
shit!
I had
Jeez,
to come with like a little bit of stove.
Did you hear Kim when I did that?
I was.
It
And I
doesn't
thought,
look like that.
I mean, that's just disrespectful to Evan. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that to that man. He don't look like no.
Evan got the
No
half
head.
moon hairdo. Why don't you just shave it, man? Just shave it all off, man. Stop playing.
Yeah, I do shave. I really do. This is the worst. I have the worst male pattern baldness. You know what I'm saying? Like if I come out, like it would just all go gray. That would have been dope, but not for me, man.
Just save it, man. Well, join the crew.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? What's out here? You know?
Yeah, join the crew, man. Just straight shave that shit off. Look like you got a helmet on. But
Leave this man alone. Can you leave him alone? Evan, we're sorry, but you're from DC. You can take this
I'm
shit.
fine.
That's all right.
You from DC?
I went to DC public schools. You can't hurt my feelings. It's not-
oh damn.
Impossible.
All right.
Impossible.
I'll stop. Kim, how was your weekend?
Oh, weekend was fantastic, Air Doctor. It was
Word.
lovely and
You don't
sparkly.
You don't remember none of it, do you?
Nigga, I mean, what's today? Tuesday? Maybe not. maybe I don't. Maybe I don't remember. Maybe I don't. I was dog sitting this weekend. Dog sitting for my mama's dog, Butch.
Oh. Butch, Bagheera, what other bees y'all got, bitches y'all got around?
Oh well, rest in peace to the goddess Breezy the goddess.
Okay,
Rest in power.
So you ready for another dog?
Not yet. No,
Okay.
I got to figure out what kind of dog that I want. But they're putting not they when I say
They got dogs from Wakanda.
What?
Oh, go ahead.
What?
You said Wakanda dog. I didn't know they had dogs from
Kind of
Wakanda.
dog?
Oh, what kind of? Okay, go ahead.
Are we doing this? Now it's Wakanda dogs, nigga. What? Anyway,
It was a joke. Go ahead.
Don't. No, I want to. Of course, you guys know I need a killer on the leash. You know what I mean? So I got to figure out what kind of breed of dog that I want. So I'm assessing dog breeds. So I need a big dog, Presa Canario. You know what I mean? Cane Corso, Dogo Argentino. I'm looking at big dogs.
You look at that big money.
All dogs is big money. They all big money. Oh, I ain't buying a dog. That's ridiculous. I would never buy it. I mean, maybe it depends on the breed, but nah. I mean, there's plenty of good mutts to be found.
You just go like a shelter camp?
Absolutely, I would go to a shelter, or if somebody, I'm not soliciting dogs. So, but if somebody knew of a dog that needed a good home, I'm down. That's how I got my previous 2 dogs. Like they were given to me. I didn't go seek
But
them
you don't
out.
like the baby dogs, right? You don't like the little dogs.
Hell no. I need something that's going to put a teeth in ass, Kamal. I need something that's going to bite. Don't play games in 2025 as single woman in white supremacy and male violence. I need something that's going to bite the shit out of somebody.
That's real.
She need a dog like that.
This great dog. This dog. Somebody owns this dog in my neighborhood, but it's never got a leash. It's like, the way cats roam around the neighborhood.
Yes.
This dog roams around the neighborhood and has yet to be hit by a car.
What size dog is it?
It's a little dog. It's probably no bigger than this, but I can scoop it up and nobody would ever know.
I
don't know how we get it to you, but I can definitely scoop it up someplace.
There's a dog like that in my neighborhood that walks itself after dark. You see the dog go up the sidewalk, one side of the street, and about 20 minutes later, he come back down the sidewalk on the other side of the street. Some
Well, let
people
me
just
get us back in focus. Kim. So when did you learn about Assata?
Probably when I heard the song, a song for Assata, to be perfectly honest. Like I didn't have radical black politics, not even no inklings about it until college and after. So I wasn't even familiar with Assata Shakur. But when I found out about who she was, I'm like, is this lady a superhero? Like, where's her movie?
Right.
Like, where's her biopic?
Isn't that crazy for her to say that after I just said the reason that Common did his song was because we took Common to Cuba for Black August, and then he made that song.
Yeah,
like Water for Chocolate came out my first year at Temple. I want to say 99 or late 98. When did Like Water for Chocolate come out? Yep, that was the first time I heard it. I'm like, who is Assata? And I thought at first it was, because I think he named his daughter Assata, so I thought it was looking at the track list, and I'm like, oh, it's a song about his daughter, but no.
Look at that! Look at that! How music and media can teach.
I was gonna say you missed a picture of baby Kamau. We just saw it like right before you got there.
Was he looking like Drake?
He was looking like a younger Drake, like when he was on.
Yeah.
Well, Del Grassi or whatever that was.
Oh shit, not Del Grassi.
I looked nothing like fucking Drake.
No, Drake looked like you. You're right.
Yeah, he's younger. He came after
you. That's how it works.
And I don't want you to get the Drake six pack come out. Don't do that. That shit looks terrible.
Which one's the Drake six pack?
Oh, it's manufactured and it's not attractive. I'm like, who told him this shit was sexy?
Getting artificial six pack is another level. That's another level.
It's sad.
Another level body work, man.
But to your point, Kim, I think that's very important. That's why these artists got to continue to teach through music. We got to continue to put it in film. We got to continue to put that out there, especially for our ancestors that just made their transition. We got to keep their name alive, just like one of my favorite movies, Coco. All right, so I guess we could go ahead and take a quick break, and then
wait.
What up?
I don't usually do Amber style.
Oh, get him!
I'm gonna do a little Amber style because somebody. Thank you, Goddess Crew. Y'all are sorting the fuck out of Kamau. He never looked like this. He had to get plastic surgery because he looked like David Schwimmer. That's fucking right. Thank you, Goddess Crew. Drake never looked this good in his fucking life. What's wrong?
That's true. I would probably agree with that. Yes. Drake ain't never been as fine as Kamau. That is correct.
That's right.
That put you in tears? That put you in tears?
I mean, the only thing he has over you, Kamau, is the smile. But I wouldn't give him that. That's probably manufactured too. He probably wouldn't laugh at that too.
Well, as I said, I have no facial muscles below my.
You don't need them. That's the point. You don't need them. You don't need to smile. That's right.
No, that's true. Do anybody that has a resting fine face? That's not everyone has that, Kamau. So
exactly.
You still talk about Kamau and his smile.
I feel like that is how it looks. I can't laugh too hard.
Kamau, smile for me.
We're also,
right.
I thought we were
smile.
I'm hearing all the smile songs. I'm hearing Scarface smile. I'm hearing Angela Wimbush smile. I'm hearing all the smiles. Oh, right, Shanice. Yep. Undisputed Truth. Yes.
Keep talking. So let's go ahead and take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back and actually get into something that's going on in the world. It's a lot. Yeah, pretty much. All right.
Faces sometimes. Y'all don't know nothing.
Keep singing.
That. Smiling faces sometimes.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Let's get into it right here, right now. That's Nature the Threat in the background. Ross Cos. If you ain't never heard that song, it's pretty dope. Got a whole lot of knowledge and gems dropped in it. Might be a couple stories not all the way accurate, but go and do your research. That's what I'll be trying to say. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare, and donate where? At blkliberationmedia.org. You can also go and cop some dope merchandise. What type of merchandise? Dope shirts like Kendrick Lamar is wearing. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go rock that new Remix Morning shirt, you can go cop you one. All right. Also, let's get to the weather report. We got a high today in ATL, Atlanta, 77 degrees. It's going to be 1 degree hotter in DC, talking 78. Chicago, 74. We got a lot of 70s going around. Even in Los Angeles, it's 73 degrees, but Houston, it's a little warm. We talk about 93 degrees. Let's take it down to Venezuela, Caracas. They got a high of 80. And last but not least, Zanzibar City, Tanzania. They got a high of 84 degrees. Pretty hot, but I'll tell you what else is hot. I got to go see this group, Tank and the Bangers, this weekend at the National Black Arts Festival, which was pretty dope. Got to go see Masiki Scales and Common Ground Collective, and also an African singer by the name of Sumi. Very dope show. If y'all don't know about them, go check them out. It was good to see some live performances and see a sister that could rap, sing, and a band that could get funky. All right, with that said, let's get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show.
The first Greek fraternity's band. The word gymnasium is Greek for naked. This was the place where adolescent boys were educated and molested.
Oh yeah, that was a hell of a song by Roscos. All right, so there you go. Yeah, Tank and the Bangers. You ever heard them?
Oh yeah, they're dope. They're dope. Everybody else was like,
they're older, Evan. They're older. They don't listen to music past the 90s. Let's be real.
For me, that's probably true.
Maybe early 2000s.
For me, that's probably true. There's a lot of truth to that.
All right, let's
When the Mama's Gun come out, yeah. When
yeah, that was it. Early 2000s. Peace, y'all.
08. 08 is when I tapped out.
So I know we got news, but are we still doing the Assata tribute? Are we going to hit the map? What are we going to?
I know Renee is going to come up and wants to do something. I pulled up something from Hood Communist that I love a statement from Assata that I love to go over. Yes. So we can either do it as part of news or we can bust it right now, whatever y'all want to do.
Your doctor, what do you want? Hey now. Peace and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Remix Morning Show. We are indeed live on this Tuesday, September the 30th, 2025. Welcome and good morning. Come on in. We appreciate you guys joining us. We got a full slate of yellows on the screen for yous. What, Evan, are you yellow?
No. I'm light brown. Come on, man.
Oh, well, that's what Kamal says. And I know he's lying. So
don't do that, Kim.
I'm sorry.
No, with me in person and Evan are the same complexion.
No, we are not. Kamal, don't you tell that lie.
What? No.
On air.
I think I see the copper coming through, copper colored man.
Same complexion in person.
Whew. All right. Well, we've got Kamal Yella Franklin on the screen with us. We got Evan Copper. I don't even know your last name, Evan. Evan Young Stunner joining us. My name is Kim Brown, ear doctor in the cut. Renee Johnston will be joining us shortly. And Remixes, we appreciate you guys being here. The dutifulness of this chat remains undefeated. So we appreciate you guys. Please engage, please like, please subscribe, please share, please support blkliberationmedia.org. And as you know, we are paying tribute to the Assata Shakur, who transitioned just several days ago free in Cuba. And some of our comrades have had the deepest honor to interact with her, engage with her, build with her, work with her. So where would you guys like to go as we send tribute to Sister Assata?
I wanted to start with an open letter from Assata that was actually published in Hood Communist. This is a letter from Assata, I think in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. No, 2013, October. And this is a letter, her telling a little bit about her story and her history. So it says, written from Havana, Cuba, October 5th, 2013. I read like some excerpts of it. It says, my name is Assata Shakur, and I am a 20th century escaped slave. Because of government persecution, I was left with no other choice than to flee from political repression, racism, and violence that dominate the U.S. government's policy towards people of color. I am an ex-political prisoner and have been living in exile in Cuba since 1984. I'm going to leave this up here, and somebody else is going to have to read because someone is knocking on my door right now. So I'm sorry about that interruption.
Kim, you want me?
I do, Evan.
Okay. I have been a political activist most of my life, and although the U.S. government has done everything in its power to criminalize me, I am not a criminal, nor have I ever been one. In the 1960s, I participated in various struggles: the Black Liberation Movement, the Student Rights Movement, and the movement to end the war in Vietnam. I joined the Black Panther Party. By 1969, the Black Panther Party had become the #1 organization targeted by the FBI's COINTELPRO program. Because the Black Panther Party demanded the total liberation of Black people, J. Edgar Hoover called it the greatest threat to the internal security of the country and vowed to destroy it and its leaders and activists. Should I just keep going?
Yeah.
Okay. In 1978, my case was one of the many cases brought before the United Nations organization in a petition filed by the National Conference of Black Lawyers, the National Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression, and the United Church of Christ Commission for Racial Justice, exposing the existence of political prisoners in the United States, their political persecution, and the cruel and inhuman treatment they receive in the U.S. prisons. According to the report, quote, the FBI and the New York Police Department in particular charged and accused Assata Shakur of participating in attacks on law enforcement personnel and widely circulated such charges and accusations among police agencies and units. The FBI and NYPD further charged her as being a leader of the Black Liberation Army, which the government and its respective agencies described as an organization engaged in the shooting of police officers. Continue. This description of the Black Liberation Army and the accusation of Assata Shakur's relationship to it was widely circulated by government agents among police agencies and units. As a result of these activities by the government, Ms. Shakur became a hunted person. Posters in police precincts and banks described her as being involved in serious criminal activities. She was highlighted on the FBI's most wanted list, and to police at all levels, she became a shoot-to-kill target. It's crazy. I was falsely accused in 6 different criminal cases, and in all 6 of these cases, I was eventually acquitted, or the charges were dismissed. The fact that I was acquitted or the charges were dismissed did not mean that I received justice in the courts. That was certainly not the case. It only meant that the evidence presented against me was so flimsy and false that my innocence became evident. This political persecution was part and parcel of the government's policy of eliminating political opponents by charging them with crimes and arresting them with no regard for the factual basis of such charges. Come on, I don't know if you had particular excerpts you wanted to go through. I just finished reading the first part. You're muted.
I'm sorry about that. So my power is about to go out. I'm not sure how long. I'm on my phone, so you might not be able to hear me too much. So I'm going to just try to turn it over to you guys until the power comes back on, I guess, if you guys can hear me.
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you. Just to double check, is there any other section of this that you want to touch on, or just?
No, I just wanted to touch on the fact that even in by 2013-14, again, Assata Shakur was still somebody who was hunted by the U.S. government under Barack Obama, as mentioned earlier, twice. She had a federal, basically, bounty put on her head and raised. And I think this letter, which was written in 2013, was part of a response during Obama's second term of a heightened sense of trying to find her and capture her. And so then the other thing with Assata quickly is that she also had to go in hiding later in life because of the increase in the boundary put on her by the U.S. government. There was a time period where Assata was not completely able to travel where she wanted to in Cuba, but had more freedom in Cuba to travel. And then not only because of the bounty, but the rhetoric surrounding her, which again was led in a lot of ways by Barack Obama. She also then had to go a little bit more underground than what she was. I also would say that, a lot of people have put out statements about Assata, and with the things that I noticed, one of the things that I liked the most was someone said that she lived free and died free. And one of the things that was meant by that is that Assata lived her life again as a revolutionary, as an organizer for her people. And when she was captured by the United States and ultimately was convicted in court of a murder in absentee, she, by that point, was in Cuba under the protection of the Cuban Revolutionary Communist government, and died free, we say, because she didn't die in prison. She didn't die under the cell of the United States government. The United States government never reached her, and they were never fully able to take control of her life and stop her from living the life that she had in Cuba. And so with all the, I'm gonna call them inconveniences that comes with anybody living in exile, she got to see her family, she got to meet her grandkids, she had a relationship with her daughter, friends, comrades, family visited her, and as much as possible, she led a full life. And so there's a couple of folks out there also who are trying to suggest, who are obviously enemies of the revolution, that Assata didn't have freedom of movement. Assata had a very constructive relationship with the Cuban government that allowed her both protection and freedom of movement when she so needed it and wanted it. So folks who don't understand that and who don't know that are speaking ill about the revolution, when the revolution itself did everything possible. And one of the reasons why we should always be supportive of Cuba, that not only did it take in Assata, took in Nahanda Abiodun, it took in other political exile, political people who were political prisoners from various movements who were part of in the Puerto Rican political prisoner movement, the Puerto Rican movement for liberation. It took those folks in and granted those folks exile. So it's extremely important for folks to remember that the Cuban Revolution has done so much for African revolution around the world in terms of its Pan-Africanism, but also its connections to our most radical and revolutionary heroes and sheroes who would not have had a place to escape from basically the U.S. clutches when the United States government was after them, persecuting them, if it was not for a liberated territory such as Cuba. And Cuba has continued to pay a price because of that, and because of obviously a socialist government. But Cuba never sold Assata out. It never struck a deal with the United States, even in terms of having partial liftment of embargoes. The United States constantly tried to pressure Cuba into giving up Assata when it had these different conversations with the United States. Cuba always said, no, 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 not on the bargaining table, not something we're negotiating. Assata is free and Assata is here. And we always must remember that Cuba was steadfast in that. And they didn't have to be honest with you, but they were, because of their politics and their beliefs and their connection to the movement that we had. So that is some real beautiful stuff for us to remember and to realize that this sister, again, was a revolutionary. And I just wanted to have that statement read, because that statement, in a lot of ways, was in recognition of her own struggle and the fact that she was continually under persecution and pressure because of the United States government, but what's particularly important, because the first so-called Black president of the empire decided to make her a target.
Obama gets worse and worse. What did I hear? Was this a couple of weeks? You got to go, Kamal?
No, I'm still good up until the power is off in my house, but I'm using my hotspot. So as long as it's good, I thought I might get cut off, but as long as it's good, I'm here for you.
I saw a clip, I want to say a couple of weeks ago, before Assata transitioned. And I don't know how recent of a clip it was, but I think it was a press conference from the New Jersey State Troopers re-announcing that they were still looking for her. And I think they was the bounty on her $2 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the bounty, and they kept increasing it. And again, there was both state and federal pressure. Again, she rose to the level because of her being liberated from prison, of being on at one point the #1 person on the FBI's most wanted list, always on the most wanted list since she was liberated from prison. It's also important to note within that framework that Assata didn't escape from prison by herself. Assata was liberated from prison from other members of the Black Liberation Army who went back and got their comrade. And so it's important to also remember that this movement was bigger than just Assata. Assata was one person within a larger framework of a liberation army that was actively fighting U.S. forces, actively fighting for the liberation of our people. And part of what that work was to, at one point, was to free Assata from prison and to help her escape. And at this stage, not all of those comrades, but a good portion of those comrades have also passed away. The two that come to mind the most are Matulu Shakur and Sekou Odinga. And someone also put in Marilyn Buck. Yes, there were other white comrades who actually, in a lot of ways, and this is no secret anymore, it's been written in books, the combination of the Weather Underground and the BLA, particularly in the late 70s and early 80s, were able to carry off certain actions, because when actions took place, the white folks would be the drivers, because no one would be looking for the white folks. They would get away for the most part with a clean slate. There was the Brinks robbery at the very end, which betrayed them and got their whole network snatched up. But at one point, they were operating for, I believe, over 5 or 6 years, being able to disguise themselves and hide. And in particular, Sekou Odinga deserves a lot of credit as the person who was credited with actually going into the prison, taking a guard and having that guard tell them where Assata was, and even that guard saying, "Don't go this way, because if you go this way, you're going to get shot up." And he didn't want to die that day, that guard told him to go in a different direction in order to make sure that that guard lived, and to make sure that things were carried off, so that that guard, and I guess in that guard's estimation, to save their life. And so there are other heroes, again, who are associated with Assata Shakur's liberation. There's brother who's still out, Sundiata Acoli, who was in the car, New Jersey Turnpike. I'm gonna look up his name so I don't butcher the brother's name, who also was killed that day in the car. Say it again.
Wasn't Zaid Shakur?
Oh, you're right. Saeed Malik Shakur, who was murdered by the state troopers. And even in these stories that's now talking about who Assata is, they don't mention Zaid. So it's important. I'm sorry, I didn't know off the top of my head, but it's important that we mention Zaid Shakur's name, because he was murdered by the pigs that day. Assata was shot that day, and still was charged with the assassination or the killing of this cop, right? So it's important for folks to remember. Zenzabel is pointing out that he was Assata's husband. So it's important to remember that these comrades, when they were captured, Sundiata spent decades in prison and was only released and still alive, but he spent decades in prison from the incident on that turnpike and his association, of course, with the Black Liberation Army and the Black Panther Party. So all that is to say that, our comrades in yesteryear put up a valiant and important struggle. And Assata is a symbol of that struggle. She's not the only person, obviously, that was involved in that struggle. There are reasons why the media tried to lift her up, in terms of calling her certain names and trying to pinpoint her. And basically, at some point, I think she acknowledged this, said this kind of humorously, like they had her everything from the Lindbergh kidnapping to like every bank robbery that took place in the country over like a year and a half stretch. And she was like, she was part of a team, and she's like, we were good, but were we that good? So, people have to remember that the propaganda of the state also was trying to villainize her, demonize her, and make it so that folks would not respond and or be fearful of her. And in reaction, the larger Black militant community, a liberation community during that time, started putting up posters saying Assata is welcomed here, as a way to show support for Assata, both publicly and privately, putting up posters in the community, in their homes, saying that Assata is welcomed here, as a way of telling folks or letting folks know that the propaganda of the state does not scare us. It does not deter us. It does not make us afraid of our heroes. And we will publicly come out and be a part of any campaign that recognizes Assata for all the great work, dedication, struggle for the liberation. And again, I just want to emphasize that woman was a revolutionary. Any talk that I had with that woman, it made I felt demurred in terms of whatever I did was never like, you know what I mean, was something I needed to work harder, because that sister was a real revolutionary and literally sacrificed her life for the cause, right? And we got people who, you know, they you know, if the first time something goes wrong, they leave a movement, right? This woman was somebody who put her ideological stances into practice, and through, again, deprivation, beatings. She was beat when she was captured. She was shot again when she was captured. And nothing deterred her from her revolutionary stance. She knew that that was the thing that could happen to a revolutionary. And she continued to struggle in spite of that. And again, never gave up her revolutionary ideas and stances throughout her life. And so it's always long live Assata, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's really amazing. And I appreciate you sharing that, Kamal. There's so many things that like come to mind, at least even kind of reading the letter. I think the first thing, and I'm hesitant because I don't want to sully, you know, today's remembrance with that, you know, shit stain that also caught one in the neck. But this whole language around the whole discourse around language is violence, right? I think is very apt at this particular moment, right? The fact that she had a shoot to kill, this elder had a shoot to kill order on her, you know, is, you know, that in and of itself is insane. But the way in which the rhetoric of state, local, you know, and federal officials, right, their language as inciting violence against Assata and like making her life much more dangerous with those bounties is really crazy. It also occurs to me that like in liberal discourse, she did everything. Not only did she do everything that she was supposed to do in terms of, you know, following all the, you know, existing channels and, you know, appeals, all sort of stuff. They finally just had to get her out, right? But in that way, you know, she is breaking this liberal discourse around like, you know, eventually the system's going to figure it out. Like, no, they won't, right? And this was the only semblance of justice that she was able to find, right, by being liberated from that prison and being able to live outside of the clutches of the U.S. empire. But it's just the way in which I think liberals will hold up her memory, but ignore everything that materially made her life possible in the way that we had it. Because if it were up to them, she would just rot in prison doing appeal after appeal after appeal. She would be in the place that Mumia's in, right? Quite frankly, right? Rotting away in prison, right? One of our heroes. And it's like devastating to me that like this is not what liberated her. From my understanding and communicating with political prisoners, is actually not possible right now. You know what I mean? Like you can't just get somebody out of prison, out of a supermax. Like it's not as easy, you know. And not say that it was easy back then, right? But like I don't know, like how physically possible it actually is that, and the way in which, you know, we still have political prisoners, obviously, right? I just mentioned Mumia. We have other ones being made even in this particular moment, right? Through Cop City, we have political prisoners, right? In Atlanta. So I don't know, man. It's just it lifts her up, you know, as always, right? But I think kind of her story illuminates the real kind of pickle we're in, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, and how complicated it actually is, and the way that our repression has been heightened. The state has learned, right? Like this is a dialectical process, right? And the state has absolutely learned from losing, as the state looks at it, losing Assata, right? Like never being able to quote unquote bring her to justice, right? So now I don't know. It's just, it is very emotional, and it makes me think of like all of the ways in which heroes are like constructed. Like there's like an entire media apparatus, Hollywood apparatus to construct quote unquote Black heroes. And the ones that we actually have, we never learn about, right? Like Assata is truly, you know, as close to a living superhero as you can get, right? And like, you know, people don't know about her, but we have, I don't know, like name any other like instant, you know, inane, right? You know,
Michelle Obama. I'm sorry.
No, but that's it, right? That's it, right? And it goes from what I would consider an example of actual Black excellence or African excellence in Assata to what, you know, to these like neo-colonial bootlickers, right? Or these compradors, or someone who's going to double her bounty, like Obama.
That's one of my takeaways from her incredible story and her incredible life is the solidarity. Like, y'all understand 1-800-CRIME Stoppers, niggas is telling on other people for $200. You know what I'm saying? The fact that they put up $2 million, and I can't say that nobody told, but nobody told successfully to go and get her, right? Do you know how remarkable that is? You know how down bad people are? You know how evil-minded some people can be to tell, just to tell, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't appreciate, she shouldn't be. So the fact that she was able to get out of the country, make it to Cuba, and remain free for decades with that much money over her head is incredible. Like that doesn't really happen, does it?
No, it doesn't.
That's a lot of money, dog. Like $2 million. I wouldn't tell him come out for $2 million, but I'm trying to think. Maybe 10.
Maybe 10.
Maybe 10.
But we get you out, come out. We get you out, you know. We
Yeah.
get you there.
Oh yeah, I'd finance, you know what I'm saying?
You'd get the money and then finance my.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He get a night. You know what I'm saying? But then we get him out the next day. But,
but I mean, think about it though, y'all. For one, it's her ability to remain free is truly kind of, cops ain't shit, right? Cops they don't solve crimes. They don't actually find people. The way that they solve crimes is people tell, you know what I'm saying? And nobody told, or at least nobody successfully told, which I find to be a true testament of, number one, who she was and the character and the quality of folks that surrounded her and protected her for all this time. Like that's just remarkable to me.
Well, we're going to tell right here on, go ahead.
No, I was going to say really quick. And let's remember, the rumor is allegedly Al Sharpton, right, attempted to find out where she was by saying he wanted to give her some plaque or some award, and he was asking people to tell. And then people later found out about Sharpton's close association, which I don't think is allegedly, with the FBI, where he claimed he was snitching or telling on drug dealers. And it's like, so the FBI is contacting you, Reverend Al, about that's your value to them? Drug dealers in the street. That's your story.
I wish somebody would literally ask him about that, because I have a feeling he would answer. You know what I'm saying? He might lie, but I think he would answer. Someone needs to ask Al Sharpton directly, were you an informant for the FBI to try to find out the whereabouts of Assata Shakur? Someone needs to ask him that to his face.
Oh, that's real. Well, listen, what we're going to do right here on Black Liberation all week is we're going to have a tribute to Assata. We're going to do it all. Big up to our ancestor that paved the way and put her life on the line. So we're going to take a quick break, and we got another host coming through, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into it right here on No Other Than the Remix Morning Show. Remix on the remix.
We all the teachers went with all that pro-black shit. We all the conscious niggas that used to chat like this. See, I remember yesterday when y'all was gods and nuts. Egyptians and magnificence on the verge of living earth. To understand it and planting seeds that grow. Now everybody's on that bullshit about killing themselves. Need my pussy suck like a, well, that's the size of the shit. So in the head of ignorance, I'm in subconscious. But niggas is small. My task is educate y'all. Can you stop selling crackers, Negro? That takes balls. I'm on that road called freedom. Seldom travel by the multitude. I bring gifts of life like it's some conscious food. God decree. Cause see, God's the size of me. And yeah, what's the difference with the West and the East? I feel there ain't no difference. To spread the news I spit. And since I got you listening, I guess I'll prove the shit. This niggas lacking over there. Niggas lacking over here. So niggas dying over here. And niggas dying over there. Like you don't follow them. Because they don't know shit. They selling you death on that pursuit for Benz and Lexus. We got to talk about it. Cause I reveal your ass. You can't shield your dirty thoughts with no 5% back. Keep the Jews that I pass. See the fools that I class. I'll be schooling your ass. Cause being true is a task. And I am nothing but God bless, nigga, what? Take your hand off your lips and your lips off that blunt. Stand for something. Stand direct. Stand for this. You fall for everything because you don't stand for shit.
All right. Let me take you to a time and place. Let me take you back to 1971 with Marvin Gaye. Off the album What's Going On. The name of that song is Mercy, Mercy Me. Mixed with a little bit of 1996. We talk about Poor Righteous Teachers with KRS-One. The name of that album is The New World Order. The name of that song is Conscious Style. You are listening to a remix on the Remix Morning Show. Hit that like button, subscribe. If you're new to the channel, go to patreon.com, become a member over there, give footage that's rare, and donate where at blkliberationmedia.org, as you see at the bottom of the screen. Show your love, share, care, go get you some merch, and support a station that's going to support you. All right, with that said, let's get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show. Let's go.
Whew, that's hard.
That was dope. That was a dope mix.
Gracias, senorita. And we got no other than Renee.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Sorry.
Tuesdays with Renee.
I said your whole name too.
I know. This parenting thing, man.
Girl.
Work.
It looks hard. It looks hard. And you pushed him out through your vagina. Girl.
Well, actually, I had a C-section, so I didn't.
Either way.
But I gotta say, C-sections are not actually fun. Just so people know. Like,
they don't.
Like, you can literally feel them moving all your organs around.
Jesus.
It's not fun. It's not fun at all. So just an
Listen
FYI, when people are like, "Oh, I had a C-section, I didn't have to go," it's not that fun. It's not that fun. So, yeah.
Remember that, birthing people, and if you don't have kids, be listening. I'm telling you, if you listen to mothers, it will totally dissuade you from motherhood. It's like, man. Whoa, wait a second.
It's rough. And my kid's good. That's the crazy part. Like, he's good. He don't, like, if I say go wash the dishes, go walk the dog, go clean your room, did you start your laundry? Like, he's a good kid, and it's still rough. I don't know what I would do if he was a pain in the ass. I'd be in trouble.
Damn.
Listen.
Leave that nigga at the fire station. Like, how old is he? 15? He's gonna leave his ass right there at the firehouse. How old? Wait. What's the cutoff age for dropping the kids off at the fire station? Was it like 8, 9?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I thought they had to be small enough to go in a picnic basket. Like, I think that's the. They have to be in a basket. They have to be basket size.
Put them in a laundry basket. Put them in the hamper and leave them right there. I'm sorry. All your children are lovely. I'm sure they are.
Oh, yeah, they are. All right, let me get off the screen.
We miss you, Renee. It's good to have you.
I know. I'm sorry. They did like an intro to the counselor thing this morning, and since he's new to the high school, I wanted to make sure I knew who these people were. It's also rough because I was a school counselor, and so I side-eye everybody who claims to be a school counselor. Like, do you really know what you're doing? Are we sure you know what you're doing? So I had to make sure I went, but I did. They started doing like the question thing. I was like, all right, I'm good. I'll see y'all. Peace. So, yeah.
Oh, you were I love to hear good parenting. It really warms my heart. Because some Gen X, no, some of our age mates, I'm like, what are y'all doing?
It'd be rough.
But
the bug briefcase, is this real? I mean, of course it's real.
What's this?
What I pulled up?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, so we talked a little bit of Al Sharpton, and somebody in the chat found it. So Ahmed Obafemi recalls 1983 meeting with Reverend Al Sharpton and his bugged briefcase. So I just wanted to sort of recall this in some more detail. Ahmed Obafemi, who was also a very close comrade with Assata Shakur, part of the Malcolm X grassroots movement and New African People's Organization, who passed away a few years ago. And one of the tour guides, actually, when we would go to Cuba. And people don't know this, and again, I think we can say this more openly at this stage, that Assata Shakur was very closely connected with the struggle around the Republic of New Africa and New African politics. Some say she was a member of several cadre organizations, that those politics was something that she did not highlight, and there were particular political reasons for that at the time of her life in Cuba. But that she was very, very close to New African, not only personnel, but New African ideology was part of her ideology, and part of the reason that she adopted, and that so many East Coast Panthers adopted African names. If folks remember, one of the the distinctions between West Coast Panthers and East Coast Panthers was that East Coast Panthers, and not exclusively by any stretch of the imagination, but East Coast Panthers got very close to the ideas of the Republic of New Africa and integrated a lot of the ideas around Black self-determination in a more direct way into the politics of the East Coast Panthers. And there's a plethora of East Coast Panthers who took on new African names because of that influence. But I wanted to show the story because Ahmed, this is from 2019, that this story was updated, I guess, and it says, Ahmed Obafemi is having flashbacks about a briefcase. Last week, when stunning new details emerged about the Reverend Al Sharpton's role as an FBI informant in the 1980s, Obafemi kept thinking about a sit-down he had with Sharpton at the Manhattan restaurant in 1983 and the briefcase that Sharpton brought with him. It was the way he sat down, Obafemi recalled. Sharpton, according to Obafemi, set up the meeting to seek information about the whereabouts of Joanne Chesimard, government name of Assata Shakur, who was a fugitive after being convicted in the killing of a New Jersey state trooper. Sharpton thought Obafemi, an activist with ties to Black revolutionaries, might be able to help, Obafemi said. In an interview last week, Obafemi recalled the unusual attention Sharpton paid to that briefcase and how Sharpton kept it close to him and in between them. Obafemi's instincts, the hyper alert feeling of someone who was in touch with imprisoned and on the run Black radicals, made him deeply suspicious, he said. And here's a picture of Assata in chains, both ankle bracelets and handcuffs, when she was in the custody of the New Jersey officials. Eventually, he decided to break ties with Sharpton. Now, after the Smoking Gun website last week quoted secret court papers detailing how Sharpton used a bugged briefcase to record mobsters for the FBI in the 1980s, Obafemi said he feels vindicated. All of our suspicions were true, said Obafemi, who now lives in Atlanta, where he administers youth programs for the New African People's Organization. Although the circumstances of why Sharpton became a federal informant are in dispute, he has long acknowledged that he secretly recorded mobsters for the FBI in the 1980s. But he's always denied allegations that that his cooperation with the feds included trying to obtain information on Black revolutionaries, as one law enforcement source told Newsday in 1988. Sharpton's attempt to contact Chesimard, a left-wing militant who goes by the African name Assata Shakur and has been a fugitive since the 1979 prison gate break, began when he ran into New York photographer and activist Kwame Brathwaite. Brathwaite said last week, Sharpton said he would give $50,000 to Chesimard if she could be located, Brathwaite recalled, adding that Sharpton claimed the cash came from sympathizers who wanted to help Chesimard and help underground radicals. Brathwaite then told his friend Obafemi of the offer. In phone conversations last week, Obafemi said that he had fairly detailed memories of two of his meetings with Sharpton. One was at an apartment complex across the street from Lincoln Center, where Sharpton tried to make his case he wanted to help Black radicals hiding out from authorities. He told me to sit right in front of a TV, Obafemi recalled, adding that even at that time, he had strong suspicions that they were recording devices in the appliances. And then there was the meeting at downtown Manhattan restaurant where Sharpton showed up with the suitcase. He was just so meticulous in situating it as if there was a camera or other recording device in it, Obafemi said. People often accused Obafemi and his associates of being paranoid, he said, but with Sharpton, there were too many things that raised red flags. Obafemi and radicals he went to for advice decided they had no choice but to stay away from Sharpton in the future. So that's a brief story about Sharpton's not only admitted work with the FBI, claiming, I've heard different claims, that he was spying on mobsters. I also heard him say that he was spying on drug dealers, but overtly admitting that he was an FBI informant, denying that he spied or tried to spy on Black radicals or militants, but again, offering, and at that time, where would Sharpton get $50,000 from, or claim to have it, but at that time making an offer that he was trying to get $50,000 to Black radicals and or particularly Assata, and that he needed her location to get the money to her, which in itself sounds like crazy. If he knew that
Shady
others
as
had
fuck
contact,
is what it sounds like.
So shady.
Yeah.
As fuck.
If he knew that others had contacts and he wanted to get money, he could easily have given the money.
No, but he wanted to give it to her himself, Kamal, to like look her in the eye and show his appreciation, you know?
Yes,
So,
Right.
yes.
That's the part right there. Like, if you really wanted to just give money, you just give money.
Mhm.
You give
Even
it to
if-
whoever could access, whoever could take it from you,
right.
and then let it flow through whatever channels it needs to flow through.
Exactly. Even if we were to believe everything that he said, it's still wild, like self-serving, narcissistic to put himself in the middle of it, like, I need to give it to you. Even if we were to believe it, which obviously none of us do. I feel like this among many things, like people should be able to like walk, just be out and about in the Black community. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there should be some kind of repercussions for this. Like, these people should be ostracized. And I don't understand how they get to just continue to be out here doing shit. And like, no one's like, hey, weren't you that dude who was trying to rap on Assata for the FBI? Or like, you know, the fact that somebody like Killer Mike feels like he can say something about Assata Shakur, like, you know what I mean? Like, people like that, like, it's kind of crazy. It's like, she would have hated y'all.
Right. But remember, so this is where I always fall back to my understanding that people are allowed to become public figures, and they're allowed to be elevated into spaces where they appear to be the Black people doing things the right way, right? Like, of course, Cuddly Mike would be able to do that because he is hard wired to make sure that all the people are giving their money to the fake Black bank and running barbershops and supporting cop cities. Like, he is exactly the Black person that mainstream wants to be speaking on Assata Shakur, because he is the person who's going to say things the way they want him to say it. You know, it's all gross. And, you know, I'm in New Jersey, so it's like triple bad here because, you know, all these people, all the headlines, everything is the fugitive, the cop killer, the blah, 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 blah. The governor came out with this statement to complain because people were calling Assata a hero, and we have heroes. The hero is the person she killed. Like, it's just so gross. Like, the whole thing is so gross, and I'm just glad that they didn't get her. Like, in the end, like, obviously she wasn't 100% free because she could not move about the world the way I'm sure she would have wanted to. But in the end, they couldn't lock her up, and there was no bounty on her head that was going to get the Cuban people to give her up. And so we can at least be thankful for that.
2 million. Sharpton would have did it for 50K, which is crazy, to the extent that, you know, our people will sell each other out over peanuts or nothing. Even a lot of cases, a lot of people out here would tell for free or volunteer and put themselves just to insert themselves and ingratiate themselves in the situation somehow. But I mean, I think that even Al Sharpton's audience, I don't know if this would be disqualifying for them, even if they knew it, right? Because I think a lot of them would point to, well, he stood up and helped this victim of police brutality and that victim of police brutality. He helped raise money. I know that allegedly in the Black community, snitching is renders a person persona non grata, but I'm not exactly sure that's the case. Even if folks knew that Sharpton was a snitch, even if he confirmed he was a snitch on Assata, would that make people turn away?
I mean, you're probably right in that it wouldn't. And I do appreciate Renee's point about, like, you know, like the people who are placed in front of us, right? Like, these people are not organically lifted up by the community. And I think what I'm stuck on, though, is that, like, if we use Obama as an analogy, right, I think that there's a way in which Obama, even with all the counterinsurgency that he was a part of and, you know, representative of, like, when he made that post about Kirk, he kind of got ratioed, right? Like, he kind of got ratioed on his own post, right? Of people being like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, X, Y, and Z, all the things that you've done. And I don't think that somebody like Al Sharpton gets or Cuddly Mike gets like a similar amount of smoke, right? Like, even though I think that they like when, so I don't my perception is not that Cuddly Mike's post about Assata got ratio in the way that it should have, for him being like a Cop City supporting, you know what I'm saying, I got pigs in my family, blah blah blah, you know, like it. So I don't know, I guess in that way I feel like even while I acknowledge, right, the idea that like these people are put in front of us by the structure we exist under, I do still feel like there's a way in which like popular.
You know,
Alphabet boys out here working hard.
Yeah, I thought that was me. I was like, it's because I'm in motion.
I thought it was mine too because my power got cut off, so I wasn't sure either.
Y'all getting the echoes on your phone? I'm like, come on, Palantir. I need y'all to be a little bit more subtle.
Yeah, it's extra.
I'll say this real quick too on I guess an earlier point that folks was making. I mean, our community is so propagandized that we don't know who our heroes are or who our villains are, right? I mean, just think about it. Go back even a little further than that. Malcolm X actual assassination or person who assassinated Malcolm, he lived a long life. And if I'm not, I mean, he might have just recently passed. I can't even remember anymore. Not only lived a long life in prison, when he got out of prison, he lived a long life. There was no retribution. There was no justice. There weren't daily marches or something in front of that brother's house or something like dude's house or whatever like that for his murder, his actual murder of Malcolm X. So we allow or we don't have the type of structures in our community that do enough to protect us from those who are actively trying to destroy it. Instead, those people are lifted up. In particular, Al Sharpton's case is a hero of our community because of the propaganda value that they serve to the larger establishment. Al Sharpton, someone who is basically reconfigured, rehabilitated, who went from jumpsuits to three-piece suits in order to look like some preacher leader in our community, had glorious written stories about him from the New York Times, who at first portrayed him as a huckster, right? Because he was involved with the December 12th movement and actually part of leading demonstrations that were shutting down New York City over the racial murders of young brothers at the time. Sharpton quickly pivoted when he saw that the dollars that he could receive outweighed any so-called politics that he claimed to have. And he pivoted to basically a preacher style person in a three-piece suit who had was now given the credibility to now go meet mayors, go meet governors, go meet presidents, and to be a voice that spoke for the larger Black community. So somebody who they disliked, the establishment at one point turned him into at one point the leader post Jesse Jackson and the new Jesse Jackson, right? The derivative from somebody who had principles in politics of a Dr. King, who was a socialist, to a Jesse Jackson who had some good politics, but definitely was far more on the capitalist scale, to an Al Sharpton who was a complete sellout. Okay. So,
and see, can I just real quick? So this is where my question always is, right? Was this always Al Sharpton, and it was positioned in such a way? Because you have to, at the least at first, appear to be about something before this transition happens. And I did a lot of research on his organization, which is like definitely a money laundering front, because they got mad. Like there's like all these quote unquote, chapters listed that like literally there's no connection to a real person. But like, so I always wonder, like, did he start out as like somebody or was he placed to present that until he became someone who was noticed, and then they were able, like, I always wonder, like, were you always an asshole and they knew it, and so they were just waiting for the opportunity? Or did you go in like sincerely, but then you realize, you know what, I can grift off this shit, like I can get a bag from this? And so, like, I'm always curious, how that happens. And I don't really have it. And I feel the same way about politicians. Like, they start out being one thing, and then you turn around and all the stuff that they promised they were going to do stop being a thing. Like it's no longer like, it's just no longer a thing. And so I always question, like, how does that happen?
I think that Sharpton always kind of had a bent towards entertainment and towards the spotlight generally. I think he came to the church honestly because he was a youth a youth prodigy. I think preaching because the man's gives a good speech. I ain't gonna even hold you. Like he's a really good orator. He's good at that. But he was a sidekick or a little assistant to James Brown, so he always had a very up close he was always kind of in those rooms, I guess, with the black celebrity. And I wonder, you know, James Brown had a peripheral, I guess, relationship with Nixon. In a way, I wonder if that's when Sharpton first maybe got introduced to that side of the politics. But you know, like you said, Kamal, the racial murders of young black men in New York. I mean, did he wash himself in the blood of these victims to like make himself appear? I don't know. Maybe I'm saying too much.
I think that'd be an interesting question for some of his comrades from back in the day, the people who worked with him from back in the day. Like people like Art Maddox and people from December 12th movement, like at what point was there that obvious shift that, you know, Sharpton was his own entity and was maybe at that stage building some sort of alliance or organization. I wonder what it was for them, because I think some of them have come out and said things in the past about Sharpton in terms of his twists and turns. That led to a break. I think at some point, though, they all did work together and had, you know, the Days of Rage, right? And again, which was the reaction to racial murders by white mobs in New York. But at some point, there was a shift that was more obvious. And it's hard to say whether or not, I'm sure this was always in his character from his past and what we know about his past. Not sure, though, how the switch happened in terms of, was it the FBI that first approached him that helped make him shift? Was it some corporate interest or a talk with a Jesse Jackson type of figure that made him shift? Like there was something in that background that made him shift, i.e. Van Jones, right? What made him shift from being a so-called revolutionary nationalist and communist to being basically a stalking horse for Israel and a moderate political figure who has tens of millions of dollars at his disposal. Like, what is it that makes these people shift, right? And what is it that make people like Assata Shakur not shift, not move, right? Not be buckled? Again, the woman was literally shot and it wasn't enough to move her. Imprisoned and it wasn't enough to move her. Exiled, it wasn't enough to move her. She was separated from her family and it wasn't enough to move her from her movement. Like what is it that some people can do that and others at the drop of a dime, they become fucking sellouts to their people and to a cause at a moment's notice. So, I mean, there's a lot to look at around how people keep their principles and their politics and how others, when the time comes, accept the first dollar given to them, you know, so.
What would it take for you to come out? Better yet, Air Doctor.
The doctor said $10,000.
I've seen more than that. I need more than that.
More than 10 G.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's good. At least it's not.
Nah, come on, 10 G's. That ain't nothing.
It has to be enough for you to disappear.
Yeah, right. So you can't run into nobody and be like, yo, man, what? I don't know. Habla no English. I'll be like, habla no English.
Speech that in which he said people walked up to Malcolm and offered him millions of dollars in certain kinds of platforms if he would curtail his militant and radical rhetoric. And Malcolm was just like, no. Remember, the FBI came to Malcolm to try to get him to turn on Elijah Muhammad, even when he was having a feud with Elijah Muhammad. And what did Malcolm do? Malcolm did not take the know your rights advice of like, don't talk to the FBI. Malcolm recorded the FBI in his house.
That's so crazy.
So that he could release the tapes later on or have those tapes later on to show like he wasn't fucking scared of a goddamn thing. Like, would not move. I'm fighting with him. That's none of your goddamn business that I'm fighting with him. Like, I'm not going to turn in somebody just to be on your good side. Right. So that those things are just huge when it comes to certain movement people, and why we should have the kind of respect and admiration for them, and why we should do a better job of lifting these folks up as the heroes of our community.
Say word. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, real deal. Like every Black History Month is the same people. It's the same people. Now, at least we have this conversation now that some people will be like, oh, because a lot of people are like, who is Assata? Who is Assata? I mean, even think about it. Like Kim, she didn't know until she heard the song. So a lot of people ain't even heard that song. So this whole new generation don't even know who Assata is. So I definitely think we need to. I know that we definitely are on the right path and doing what we're doing this week. So let's take a quick break, and then we're going to come back. We up to around 375 to 80 viewers right now. So let's take a very quick break and come back. I found Kim.
Yo.
I found a picture of Evan and Kamal when they were younger.
Nah.
Come on, man.
Evan is younger. Wait a minute. Evan is a younger.
The light skins in the building.
That was dead wrong. That was dead wrong.
Like,
if I was that age, he'd be carrying me like as a baby. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And the picture would be in black and white. No scepter. All right, let's take a quick break and we're going to come back.
Sepia, nigga. Sepia is the goddamn train in Philly. What did you talk about? Sepia.
Yeah. Big up, everybody. Welcome out. Welcome out. We're going to have a quick new segment called Coon or Goon. Are they a coon or are they a goon for the revolution? Let's talk about it. We got a quick something I wanted to show y'all, and let me know what y'all thoughts are. Is this a coon or a goon? Let's get with it.
Oh, hey, I seen you on YouTube. I was watching on live, and you were protecting a female. I came down here because of you.
Thank you.
Because I seen you on YouTube. There's a guy watching you, and I seen everyone, and I was like, I told my girl, I was like, nah, fuck that. I gotta go down there. I live out in Beaverton, and I wear this hat every day at work. I work at Safeway, and don't no one say shit. But yeah.
So then, what do you think of what's happening right now?
They obviously don't have a job.
I can't with this guy. Coon or goon, y'all. Coon or goon. I didn't even need to ask you. You know what it is. Big up to all the coons out there. Continue with your coonery. All right. Let's get back to it right here at the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. Yeah.
All right. Can we provide some context? Who the fuck was who? Who was the woman? Was she famous?
Who? What woman? The woman that was talking? She's a reporter.
And he came up to her and said what? That no one says shit to him about his hat when he's at work?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Pretty much you still got black people walking around with MAGA hats, carrying flags. And it's like, yo, you got a job, so stop complaining. So I'm just
the thing that's crazy to me is like he was like, obviously they don't have no job. I'm like, motherfucker, you're out there with them.
Right.
What was your job?
And you just said you have a job. Like, how are we making these types of wild ass assumptions about people? What is happening? I can't. Yo, sometimes I can't, yo. I can't.
Listen.
The hat restricts blood flow to the brain.
I think it might be a good disguise, though. What if you are traveling through MAGA country, you get pulled over by one of them good old boys, throw that MAGA hat on.
It is. Listen, I can't stay here no more, man. I'm out. I'm going to a whole nother planet. Catch y'all later.
Oh, 3-Eye Atlas is on the way, bruv. Get out there. Get out in the front yard with your flashlight. Them niggas might pick you up. That's fine. Don't nobody gotta believe. I'm just talking crazy. Don't even pay me no attention. It's fine. Y'all gonna see at the end of the month the 3-Eye Atlas.
You said in a few months.
No, at the end of October. Y'all, this shit is close.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the end of October.
Well, I don't know anything about somebody break. What's supposed to happen?
It's the comet. The comet that's coming.
Comet.
Well, some people think it's a comet, and some people don't think it's a comet because Kamau, if it is a comet, it's the biggest comet ever seen in history, and it's moving at a speed that has never been seen ever in Earth astronomy. So if it's a comet that we've never, the likes of which we've never seen.
And it's headed directly towards the Earth.
I was about to say, as long as it's passing, we're good.
So it's going
supposed
to
to be coming here, right? It's supposed to make land, isn't it? No,
girl, make land. What is it? A hurricane? No, it's supposed to.
No, I mean like hit the planet like direct.
No,
Is it?
y'all. It's not a comet. Okay, it's the Aryans. I hope that's not the Aryans. I'm sorry, it's the aliens.
The Aryans? Ain't they already here?
Well, my hope is that they are coming to pick up the white folks, right? I'm hoping it's the white folks coming back to claim the rest of their kin and take them back to Caucasia. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, look it up. Come out, 3-Eye Atlas. It is some real shit. Atlas? Yes, and
yeah.
it is
real. Yeah,
it is going to be in the Martian orbit. I want to say at the end of this week, and they think it's going to make its closest pass to Earth in the week of October 29th.
Okay, but in your
it's not coming straight. It's not.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Which one
is not making landfall?
Okay.
Not make landfall. Yes, correct. It's not expected to make landfall because it's not a fucking comet. I don't think it's a comet.
You think it's?
And there's
one. Do you think they're gonna like drop shit? You think it's gonna be like World War Z? You know, like where the things just appear, like the big thing appears, and then.
So I don't know.
I want to know.
Is, but
look, I am encouraging this conversation full stop because I want to know what Kim thinks.
Oh,
I want to know what Kim thinks.
So I think. Evan, I know you're too young to remember this, but Kamau and Renee and probably a good chunk of the chat. You guys remember the TV miniseries back in the 80s, V for Victory? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I think that they are going to make themselves known to the fact that it's not going to be deniable. No earthly government is going to be able to say there's no such thing as you know, now they're calling them unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs. But the fact that there have been a number of publicly held congressional hearings where you've got these military dudes, you know, putting up their videos and shit about what they seen, what they saw, going back decades of these experiences. I think they're doing that to try to prime the American public, or at least the humanity, for the idea that some shit is on the way. I find it interesting that Hegseth has called all the generals and admirals and all that shit back to Virginia this week for reasons we don't know. But I find the timing interesting about when 3-Eye Atlas expected, you know, it's expected to be visible. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be near Mars. We have satellites orbiting Mars, taking pictures and shit. So we might actually get some real photos of this thing. And I think it's going to be undeniable that I don't think it's a comet.
Kim, I feel like they brought us, aliens gave us plastic.
No, it's the whites gave us plastic, baby. And they might be the aliens.
Wait, so and it wasn't World War Z. Somebody just said that was the zombies. You're right. Which is the one that Ice Cube just remade, and he's the IT specialist, and it's the terrible. It's terrible.
Isn't it War of the Worlds?
War of the Worlds. My bad. Yeah. No, is that it?
That's not the TV show. That's a movie.
That's a movie, but isn't the
but there are two versions of it. There's the old one with what's his name, the Scientology guy.
There's one Keanu Reeves, right?
And then the one that just came out with Ice Cube.
There's three versions of it. There's one much older than that.
It's War of the Worlds.
There's another one with Keanu Reeves where he's the alien, and I can't remember. That's another one. You know what I'm talking about?
I love Keanu Reeves, though.
Well, back to plastic.
None of that is the TV show that Kim was
back to 3-Eye.
No, none of that is V. V is a whole different thing.
V is for victory. Y'all remember that shit?
I do.
That
I do.
yes, sir.
That was
So-
some. That
How
was
was
some
that movie?
legit. That was some legit Red Scare madness. That whole,
You're probably
like,
right. Yes.
it was some legit, like, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you guys remember Alien Nation, that movie, and then it was a TV series.
Oh,
Anyway.
No, V was a mini series.
Miniseries.
Like it was like a
Evan doesn't know
5
what a mini series is, baby. You got to tell him what a mini series is.
I don't know what V for Victory is, but I do know what a miniseries
It's
is.
Vendetta.
I don't believe it.
No, but like, okay, so V
No,
for
it's
Vendetta
not
is the
V
movie
for
that
Vendetta.
I
That's
know.
a different movie.
That's a
V for
different
Vendetta
movie.
I don't know that.
So the story of V is the aliens come and they're able to look like humans, and then it takes a while for people to realize that they're actually aliens, and then there's this whole like thing. But it was like a mini series on like NBC, ABC, one of them. But it's actually a fascinating propaganda series, and like I highly recommend it for folks to watch, to see.
Where do you find shit like that, on YouTube?
It's and it's on Amazon. You can get the whole whole series on Amazon. It's
The whole miniseries.
Yeah.
So was there
It's like-
plastic? Was there plastic back in the 40s?
Nigga, what are you doing with plastic?
What is happening right
Because
now?
that's when the aliens brought plastic to.
Why do you
That's
think
where
aliens-
cancer came from.
But the aliens would not bring us cancer. Man
Why not?
did that. Because why would they do that? I mean,
To take over the earth. That's what every alien is supposed to be.
You crazy. See, that's what the white man
This
told
is a
you.
pro-
White
yeah, I'm
man
like,
told
this
you.
right here,
We need
this
like
is
a black revolutionary science show, and it's going to be a new show on this, and it's going to be somebody who has like a PhD in something, an ear doctor, and it's going to be ear doctor asking questions and someone answering. That's going to be the show. It's going to be like Bill Nye the Science Guy.
That's going to end up like that series on HBO with the dude, the British.
Tell him,
dude
Umar.
who,
Octavia Butler said aliens couldn't stand the taste of plastic. It's connected.
Oh Lord.
What?
Why?
No,
Why?
y'all. Okay, if we look back on thousands of years of indigenous history across the globe, we was always cool with the aliens. We knew them with the indigenous people of this continent called them the star people. Like, not uncommon for
The Dogon tribe. Keep going.
I don't know about I don't know.
My Lord.
That's the tribe back in Africa when he talking about stars and stuff. The Dogon tribe. That's
Kamal
history. That's
can't
happening.
even Can we stop? Can we stop this, Kamal? You stop it.
That's history. I'm sorry that I read.
I just have a big
Bad.
headache.
I'm not convinced, but
I'm not convinced.
Wow. Ouch.
But no, I know you read, Naka. I know you read. But my point is that, like, don't put negative shit on the aliens. I feel like that's white people propaganda. I think that because white people are warlike, they know if they had the ability and the technology to traverse the galaxy, that they would go and colonize other planets. They project on the aliens what they would fucking do when they get the technology. I feel like if the aliens wanted to beat us, conquer us, they could have easily done that by now, because we are not nice out here in these universal galactic streets. We are babies. Okay? We can barely get to the fucking moon. Okay? Nigga, we ain't been to the moon in 75 fucking years. Like, we not nice out here in these galactic streets. Okay? If these niggas wanted to come do us up, they could have done it at any point in time. But I think they just ready to start flexing on us. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're ready to show us, y'all can do better. I really think I hope they're coming here to show humanity that we can be way fucking better.
Yeah, at least that shit. Assata might have been an alien. How the superpower stuff she was doing. Let's keep it real.
Is that the connection? I like that.
That's
I
the
like
connection. You see
Bring
that?
it back.
I like the attempt to bring it back. I like it.
Rewind.
And I'm going to use that attempt to play in our last 10 minutes a quick speech from Assata.
Last
Please
10.
do.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We got 10 minutes. Yeah, this is going by really fast.
Wowzers.
So this is just a little excerpt of there's something Assata said around socialism.
The whole liberation of oppressed people in the United States had to do not with climbing up some ladder to success, not for asking to be just like Rockefeller or just like DuPont or just like Ford, because that would only continue the oppression and exploitation of oppressed people in the United States, and specifically African people born and raised in the United States. Socialism is an integral part of building social justice on this planet. The condition of my people, my history was very much connected with other oppressed people, and I began to see that the same foot that was on the necks of the Vietnamese people, that was on the necks of all oppressed people on the planet, was the same foot that was on my neck. And so I began to understand that imperialism has to go. It is a poison that is killing people all over this world. The priorities of this planet have to be completely changed. And instead of profits, instead of policies that destroy the earth, that destroy the water, that destroy human beings, I believe a policy that protects people, that makes people live in a community, a world community. That's what I believe. That's my basic political commitment at this moment.
Word.
Under 2 minutes, she gives more clarity than pick somebody, pick a Black liberal, give them as much time as they want, under 2 minutes.
For real. And I don't know, I was late, so I don't know which thing you all read for the, during the first half, but her statement that she read at the beginning of her trial, which was the one that said it was like her 7th trial. They could not get her convicted of anything. Like they had to dismiss cases. Like they just kept going until they figured out like the right like connection and thing to put together to actually get her convicted of something. But her statement that she wrote and read at the beginning of her trial when she decided that she was going to defend herself with the assistance of counsel, and like so much of that letter that she wrote in 1977, like literally all them words can just be like somebody could be reading them right now and it would be the same exact thing. And I think for me, that's the thing about Assata, and a lot of our Black revolutionaries, like that's the thing that I want people to understand, is that people have been fighting this battle for decades. And the problem has always been the same. The problem has always been capitalism. The problems have always been imperialism. The problem has always been empire. Like these have always been the problem. It's always a continuation of those who have wanting more and preventing others from getting. Like it's never changed. And so we had, again, like I'm in New Jersey, so there's all these, things floating around. And we were having a conversation in one of my group chats about like, do we release a statement, And somebody's like, well, I don't really know, like people don't really know who Assata. And I was like, but that's why you released a statement. Because if people don't know who she is, it provides us with an opportunity to provide people with a resource and a person and someone to look to who can explain why we keep saying none of this shit is new, right? Because when you read the speech that she wrote in 77 and you hear her talking about the 1% owning something, and you hear her talking about people being killed for their political views, and you hear her talking about how the system comes after people who can't afford to fight it. Like all of this shit is continuous. And
can you put the letter in your private chat or bring it up?
Yeah.
We didn't discuss that letter yet. That'd be great if we could read some excerpts.
All right. We'll do.
Yeah. But I also didn't mean to stop you. I just wanted you to bring the letter up.
But I gotta look for it. So y'all.
I thought you was ready with it.
Well, because I didn't know what you all read, and only Evan answered me in the chat. He wasn't really sure, so I wasn't gonna,
No. We read
a letter. You hear what she said? You hear what she said? You hear what Renee said? How I answered her in the chat?
Oh,
I also read and answered her email. Before I got on.
Well, you know what? Kamal did too. Once,
he did.
Once I had to resend it because he didn't tell nobody he changed his email address. But it's
after she sent it 4 times, then I read it.
He's got to stay mysterious even to his comrades.
I'm on the beach someplace, don't you? Yeah.
Also come out. I had to ask the ear doctor. I had to get the link today from the ear doctor.
I thought about that on my drive from my kid's school. I was like, you know what? I didn't give Evan the link.
I have not sent him.
That's brutal.
Not sent him that link.
And then I even went back and I was like, maybe I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I was like, maybe the link you sent me is always a link. So like it's cool. So I went back to that old link.
Yeah, it changes.
Every week
And I saw your email, but I was on my phone and walking into the meeting, and I thought to myself, hopefully someone gave
somebody's gonna answer. Somebody will answer.
And I couldn't have done it because I was up late last night eating cornflakes in my underwear.
All right, the letter is in the private chat.
Yeah, okay. We got 3 minutes.
Oh, you got 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
I'm glad y'all know how to hit the end stream.
Just hold on. Just hold yourself. Get off the screen. So you want to be
it's long. I don't know. It's a long one. So I don't. Are you? You have to be familiar with this one.
I feel like we could read some and then continue on another day.
Okay. Okay, thanks for that. So I'll start reading a little bit of it and I'll jump around just to some parts of it, whatever. It says, I sat next to a pregnant woman who was doing 90. This is her in jail. Well, so let me read this part. It says, this would not be a conventional opening statement. First of all, because I am not a lawyer, and what has happened to me and what has happened to Ronald Myers does not exist in a vacuum. There are a long series of events and attitudes that led up to us being here. When we were sitting in this courtroom during the jury selection process, I listened to Judge Thompson tell you about the American system of justice. He talked about presumption of innocence. He talked about equality and justice. His words were like a beautiful dream in a beautiful world. But I've been awaiting trial for 2.5 years. And justice, in my eyesight, has not been the American dream. It has been the American nightmare. There was a time when I wanted to believe that there was justice in this country, but reality crashed through the shattered all my daydreams. While awaiting trial, I have earned a PhD in justice, or rather the lack of it. She goes on to say that that's talking about the Black Liberation Army. Since you have been in this courtroom, you have heard the name Black Liberation Army mentioned over and over. Those of you in the jury have been questioned as to what you may have read or seen on television and what your opinions were about the BLA. Most of you have stated that you thought that the Black Liberation Army was a militant organization. You have said what you have read or heard has come back from establishment media. The major TV and radio networks, the Times, the Post, the Daily News. I have read the same articles you have read. I've seen the same news programs that you have seen. When it comes to the media, I have learned to believe none of what I hear and half of what I see. But I can tell you, if I were just some Jane Doe citizen, if I did not know better, I would have read those articles and come to the conclusion that Joanne Chesimard, Ronald Myers, and all people called militants were a bunch of white-hating, cop-hating, gun-toting, crazed fanatics, menaces fighting for some abstract, misguided cause. But 1% of the people in this country control 70% of the wealth. And it is that 1% that heads the largest corporations who control the policies of the news media and determines what you and I hear on the radio and in the newspapers and see on TV. It is more important for us to think about where the media gets its information from the police department or from the prosecutor. No major newspaper or television station has ever asked my lawyers or myself one question concerning anything. People are tried and convicted in the papers and on television before they ever see a courtroom. A person who is accused of stealing a car becomes an international car theft ring. A man is accused of participating in a drunken brawl, and the headline reads, "Crazed maniac goes berserk." I'll stop there for now.
When you all come back to this, can you make sure to read the paragraph that starts the idea of a Black Liberation Army?
Oh, let's just do it right now. I'm right here. The idea of a Black Liberation Army emerged from conditions in Black communities, conditions of poverty, indecent housing, massive unemployment, poor medical care, and inferior education. The idea came about because Black people are not free or equal in this country, because 90% of the men and women in this country's prisons are Black and third world because 0-year-old children are shot down, or 10-year-old children, are shot down in our streets because dope has saturated our communities, preying on the disillusionment and frustration of our children. The concept of the Black Liberation Army arose because of the political, social, economic oppression of Black people in this country. And where there is oppression, there will be resistance. The BLA is part of that resistance movement. The Black Liberation Army stands for freedom and justice for all people.
Listen, she could have wrote that shit yesterday. Literally could have wrote this yesterday. And it would be as relevant writing it yesterday as it was when she wrote it. What's that now? 50 something years ago. Almost 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So yeah, we can leave it at that. Yeah,
great job. And we're going to be doing this all week, y'all. So make sure y'all tell a friend to tell a friend. It is going to be all about Assata this week. So we're going to give it to you like nobody else will right here on the Remix Morning Show on Black Liberation Media. Anything coming up? Anybody before we get off the screen?
I'm at 11 o'clock. I'll be on Millennials. And there's a whole like multitude of people coming on to do a fundraiser. So folks should check that out if they can.
Okay. What
This
about
Friday? My fault.
Go ahead. No, continue.
This Friday from 8 to 10, Know How to Protect Your Community training at Sankofa, sponsored by Diaspora Palante Collective and BAP DC. Please come through if you're able, or if you're in the area.
All right. Kim Brown.
Join me tonight. Burn It Down with Kim Brown. I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but white folks was wilding out again this weekend with mass shootings, and they weren't from the left.
No, the white on white crime is getting totally out of control. Out of control.
Something has to be done, Renee. I don't know where the fathers are, but
I don't know. It's an awful thing. You got all these military folks and the PTSD. You got people going to country like 10 years ago. They were on the arms of country singers and on national TV, and now they shooting up stuff.
Oh, girl, you're gonna have to give me that tea after we log off, because I'm like, who did what?
But Yep.
All right, and also tune in for us this Thursday as Classical Breakdown. We'll be doing D'Angelo, so make sure y'all come through for that. And Kamal, I'll see you Thursday. And we about out of here.
Will we see Kamal Thursday?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Do you have any scheduled movements come out that you need to, keep us up to date on, or you got any travel plans?
I think I'll be in town. I'll be here. All right. Yeah, I'll be on Thursday. You got it.
Shit is dinging?
I think it might be. Yeah, but I don't know what it is. I was like, what the fuck is that?
It's something on your computer that you have open that's giving you notifications.
Renee knows.
Ricky's in the chat. Emergency action outside the UN at 3 p.m. for Haiti.
Oh, yes, that's today. Word. Yes, because they're voting on Haiti today. Yes.
All right. Stop using plastic if you ain't got to use it. We out of here, y'all. Remix Morning Show. Peace out.
Well, all right.
Get your merch.
Oh, yeah.
Why ain't this in stream ending?
Well, all right.
Remix. 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 Remix.